Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon if you're not based in Brazil. We're here, Fabiana and I, we're here with Kluwer Arbitration for a presentation of a very important and new tool. The Fabiana and I will be presenting the demo and this event. Fabiana is a partner at Eleonora Coelho Advogados. She's also a board member of CBAr. Yael is a senior product manager for Kluwer Arbitration. That is a digital solution for international arbitration research. She has 10 years of experience working and practicing lawyer before making the shift to product development, with the mission of empowering us lawyers to work smarter and more efficiently. So with this very brief introduction, I'll pass the floor to them for them to present the new tools for CBAr and all other members.
Thank you, Debora. Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to be here today. So thank you for inviting me. And as mentioned, we're going to provide you with a walkthrough of the Kluwer Arbitration platform. So without further ado, let's go to the live demo. Can you just tell me when it's shared on the screen?
It is.
Cool. Thank you very much. Great. So I'm not going to present everything because there's a lot in here. We want to make it focused. So we're going to focus specifically on research. So if you want to start your research on the Kluwer Arbitration platform, you can simply type in a word. So let's say your research relates to evidence. And at this point, you're going to do a very broad search, and then you're going to narrow it down. So you can start typing evidence, and you can already see you're going to get here a drop down with search suggestions. There's also books that contain the word evidence in their title. There's additional aids, so you can see all these books, and then practical insights, which I will walk you through this later on. But for this case, let's see what happens if we just click on evidence. It will search the entire Kluwer Arbitration platform, which is a very extensive platform. You can see all the materials, that content types that we have, which commentary. You'll get about 15,000 awards, court decisions, rules, legislation, and you can click on each one of them if you just want to see all the search results under that content type. Then again, if you want to look, you can look at the suggested books. So if you click on this, it would open up the tab with all the books that are related to evidence. And you can also sort them instead of title. You can sort them by date that they have been published. Then because there's a lot of books and materials in here, just gonna move back here so I can see the other tabs. So now let's see if you want to narrow down your research results even better. So narrow down them even to get more targeted results. So let's say you want to do obtaining evidence. So you're going to add that to your search results, and then you can see that it already narrowed down to 127 commentaries. And if you're in Brazil and you're interested at the jurisdiction of Brazil, you can see if there's something that is from Brazil, but not on obtaining evidence. So let's then remove the evidence and see if there's any book by a specific author that you're interested in. There's Jeffrey Weinsheimer that has wrote a book about evidence you've heard about. So you can also select that author from the list to be directed to what he wrote about this topic. So that's a very useful way to narrow down your results. If you already know, by the way, that you're looking for a book and you don't want to search across our entire database of journals and rules and jurisdictions, you can simply go to the Books tab, and here you will find all the books that we have in our database. You can also search by the book title. So this is a separate search bar than the main search bar where you can search by keywords. And let's say you're looking for a book by Gary Bourne. And then it will immediately give you all the books that Gary Bourne wrote that we have in our database. And let's say we're looking again for evidence. Let's see if he wrote anything about this topic. Give it a second. And we can see here all the search results from books that Gary Bourne has authored or edited that contain any materials about our keyword, which is evidence. The Gary Bourne book is a live book, so it's been updated online constantly. As you can see here, this chapter has been updated in March 2024. So they have been updated. Another one that has been updated in March. I know there was another update in April 2024, so literally this past month. So this is another way to find the topic that you're interested in. So those are the books and journals, and there's also a tab for new content where you can see all the new content that has been uploaded to the system. We do update every week. We add new content, so you can see here all the new stuff that has been added. There's also a tab for journals. If you want to search just across our journals, that's another way to do that. From Brazil, we have the Revista Brasileira, so you can find this journal here and all the issues of the journal. On the left-hand side, you will see the volumes and then the issues of each volume. Okay, so going back to the home page, I would like to walk you through sorry, this shouldn't be up here. I would like to walk you through our practical tools. So in here, you can see all the research tools and practical tools that we have within Kluwer Arbitration that can assist you to find information quicker. We have the bilateral investment treaties. If you're looking for a BAT, you select the country of interest, and then it will provide you with all the treaty documents in the original language, but also in English, if available, with the countries they have the bilateral investment treaty with. So going back to our tools, we also have the cases and awards, which is a database that contains all the primary resources that we have. We have more than 15,000 documents, and the filters on the left-hand side have been curated to search for awards. So you can find the awards by institution, the arbitration rules, the seat of the arbitration, and many other relevant filters. And you can also type the name of the award that you're interested in, or if you have the number of the case, you can also search by the case number, and it will bring you up all the relevant results. In the past 6 months, we have launched this cage page. So what you're looking at is an entirely new interface where you can see all the information at the case level with very important data points about the case itself, like the case type, what's the status of the case. And then below, there's a representative table that shows you all the people who acted on this case. You can also see if somebody has been replaced. So in this case, the counsel has been replaced. So this aggregates the information across the entire life of this case, across all the proceedings. And then on the left-hand side, you would see kind of a table of content. It provides an audit trail of all the documents that we have for this case, starting from 2012. This was a decision on the claimant's request for provisional measures up to the revision proceeding that was in January 2023. And if you click on the proceeding, it would now provide you details of the proceeding. So not at the entire case, but just the specific proceeding, the representative on this proceeding, and the document text. So you can have it here in XML. You can also see the PDF, the original PDF, and copy the reference of this case to your clipboard. And this is all searchable, so you can search this document and see, read all the text of the decision. Another feature that we added to this case page is the citation. So if you want to research further, you found this case relevant for your research, and you want to see which other cases have been citing this case, clicking on this would lead you to another tab with all the cases that cited that, refer to that case. So that was our cases and awards. And then going back to our tools, I want to walk you through some of our practical tools. The first one is document guides and examples. This tool is actually going to relaunch tomorrow. We're launching a new version of this tool, which is an enhanced version. So we're rebranding it. It will be named Templates and Examples. I have opened a new tab. So you're going to, with our staging environment, which is the testing environment, again, it's going to go live tomorrow, but you're going to be the first to get a sneak preview of how it's going to look like. So other than going to our tools and here to these cards, you can also go to our tools from the drop down. It's just a matter of preference. If you like to navigate to the tools from the top bar, you can click on templates and examples. And again, this is still on our testing environment, but the whole idea of the tool, we're launching tomorrow with all the documents by the ICC, but there's 3 other institutions that are going to launch in the second quarter of 2024, and until the end, throughout 2024, we're going to launch up to 15 institutions. So there's lots to come. And the idea is that you can select the document that you're interested in based on the phase of the arbitration. And then you click on it, go to the document, and it will provide you with exam templates. These are downloadable templates where you can download it in Microsoft Word and make any edits to customize it to the circumstances of your case. There's example, which is a pre-filled template where you can see how others have completed this template to give you ideas of suggested wording. So again, very helpful if you work in a firm where you need to create this template from scratch. You would have here, and this adheres to the most up-to-date ICC rules. So you won't be missing anything. So even if you already have a template in place, you can check that you're ticking all the boxes and you covered everything within your template. Down below, there's guidance section where it provides guidance to this phase of the arbitration. What is it about? When do you have to deal with it? There's footnotes as well, which you could copy. And also click here to be directed to that footnote so you can investigate further. And we also provided some related content here by commentaries, the practical insights again, which I will walk you through shortly, and quick answers. So that's the new tool. I hope you would find it useful when you have to submit or work on a template, on any of these templates, so you could use them as a starting point. And then going back to our practical tools, the ICCA Compare Jurisdiction tool, because I understand sometimes you do have to do to compare different jurisdictions, if it's Brazil with another country, or even what other countries, how they handle a specific topic. So this tool is based entirely on the ICCA International Handbook. So you could also find the information in the handbook, but in this tool, it would give you the comparative view. So you can select several jurisdictions. You basically select the topic that you're interested in. Let's say you want to see parties to the agreement. And then looking at Brazil, and let's select, I don't know, just for the example, Costa Rica. View examples, and it would immediately give you the overview of these two countries and then how they handle this topic of parties to the agreement. You can also change your selection if you want to see now a different topic, or change your countries. You can also add additional countries, so there's no limitation. If you want to add Denmark, for instance, it would just provide another column. You could also see the view in this table view. So going back to our tools, we also have jurisdictions and organizations pages. These pages help you to find information on a specific jurisdiction. So again, if I'm looking at Brazil, it would aggregate all the information that we have in our database about Brazil, including the national report, the Arbitration Act. You would have here the multilateral treaties, and then other content that we have available, like court decisions, legislation, commentary. So again, these links, you could use them, and they all interconnect to Kluwer Arbitration and find relevant information about Brazil. Similarly, with organizations, it would be the same, but at organization level. And then these 4 practical tools here, practical insights by topic, which I've mentioned several times already. This tool is quite new and we keep on updating it. So we now have about 44 topics, and this is our editorial team, and they oversee all the information that we add to this tool. And you can see all the topics down here. For each one of them, for each main topic, you would see what are the notes that we have on that topic. If I go to organization of the proceedings, you could see here what subtopics we have: attorney-client privilege, confidentiality, terms of reference. And then they're all ordered in the same way. So they would have an introduction section, important considerations, practical guidance, and suggested reading. And if somebody has already done the research for you, so other than saving you time of finding the information in a book, there's also the practical guidance section that provides you practical step-by-step what you need to do when you approach this topic. So you won't forget anything. If you're a junior associate and you've never handled this topic, it's a very good way to get acquainted with it. But even if you know this topic, you're very familiar with it, to go into all the needs and greets and see that you haven't missed anything. And to add to that, there's the suggested reading at the end, where it provides you links to key cases, key commentary, and also the recent blog posts from Kluwer Arbitration, the Kluwer blog. So all of these are available to you here if you want to do some further research. Another great tool that comes with this practical insights is the comparison tool, which compares countries and institutions. So as you can see, we are in the topic of attorney-client privilege, but we can change it to any of the other practical insights. And you simply select the country that you are interested in. And I can select an institution, but you can also remove the institution and just add another country that you want to compare with. So you want to compare with Canada, and you would see here straight away. So if the main note that we just reviewed is at a global level, because we are dealing with international arbitration, in here you would see how the different countries handle this topic of attorney-client privilege. So it would give you an immediate review of what are the rules in the country, the provisions, the summary, what is the text, general practice, and special considerations. So again, very helpful when you need to do that comparative review. Was there a question?
Hi, Yael. So as I can see, we always save the best for last. And so just to reach out this again. So if I have a presentation, or if I need to write something on like make a submission on a certain topic that I don't know much about, and I need to know all there's written about it, all the case law, and all that institutions talk about it, I go to this last tool. Is that it?
The practical insights, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, so practical insights would be a very good starting point. Again, it covers currently 44 topics because the editorial team selected the most pressing issues in the arbitration space. But a good way to find if there's anything on your topic is to start from the homepage and click and just type your topic. So if I did attorney client privilege, it would straight away tell you there's a practical insight on this topic, and you can click on it. It will direct you. So if there is a practical insight on that topic, yes, I would say that this would be a very good way to start your research.
Is there a way that I find all topics that are listed or that have been already researched by Kluwer that we can access?
Yeah, so then you would have to go to the Practical Insights page, which is the homepage. You either go from our tools and go to Practical Insights, or from the homepage from the tools. And then you would see here all the topics listed. So you would have to expand them and see the topics that we have. There's also coming soon. So it would list which topics are coming soon to this tool. These are for the early stages of the proceedings. There's one on damages, so you could go and see the interest claims that relate to the damages. So you would have to go into the topic that you're interested in and see what notes are available on this topic.
And I can see they're very practical and that there are the main subjects that we usually research, honestly. So where do you get all these topics? Is there like the most research on Kluwer and then you started doing this practical guide? Is that it?
To be honest, I don't know what is the exact criteria by our editorial team. So they select the topics themselves by the topics that would be of most interest, or either a hot topic now in international arbitration, but I can definitely speak to them to see what's the exact criteria and share it with the group.
No, that's okay. I believe that, well, they know what the practical practice tells and what do we need. That's great. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, so that's the practical insights. And by the way, the notes themselves have been written by different people in the international arbitration industry. So the editorial team, they review all these notes and they make the edits and changes and approve them before they go live. But there's also room to participate. So if there's anything you want to contribute to, reach out to us and we can see if we can connect you with the editorial team to add content to this tool. So that was the practical insights. And by the way, if you go to our tools, you can also use, there's the star icon here, which helps you to save a tool as a favorite. So if you want to save it as your favorite, you can do that. You simply click on it. And then it would save it as a favorite. Okay, so sorry, yes, is there another question?
Sorry, there's a question actually. There's someone asking how we get in contact with the team, or how do we stay connected to them? Like, can you just show us how we, thank you.
I can share my email afterwards in the chat maybe, and that can be shared with the group and they can reach out to me and I can put them in contact.
Perfect, thank you.
Great. So before I go to the Profile Navigator and Relationship Indicator, because I would like to leave these two tools to the end, I would just review the quick answers, which is kind of similar to the ICCA Compare Jurisdictions tool, but this one is if a client has put you on the spot, he's asked you a question, you're in a client call, and you need to find the answer very quickly. You would have more time to do your research later. So this tool is meant for that because it gives you a very quick answer to a question. We have about 400 answers to the most pressing questions in the arbitration space, and they're all divided into these 5 categories. So if I go to appointment and challenge of arbitrators, and let's say somebody has asked me how many arbitrators may be appointed in Brazil, and you're also you're exploring, I don't know, the United Kingdom. So you can type here United Kingdom and it would find you the United Kingdom, select view results. Sorry, I think I've timed out. I need to, okay. And then it would give you the answer immediately. So it's a very short, crisp answer to this question. about how many arbitrators may be appointed in Brazil versus how many arbitrators can be appointed in the United Kingdom. So this tool, again, would be useful even when you draft the agreement. So before the arbitration even started, you can go here and select, let's say, drafting. We just removed this search. So you can go to drafting agreements, and you can also find here questions that relate to what would be the best seat for the arbitration, or stuff of that sort, and then find the jurisdictions you're interested in to help you decide what would be the best seat for that case to put in your agreement. Okay, so going back to the homepage, the last two tools that I wanted to review are the Profile Navigator and Relationship Indicator. Both of these are data-driven tools, which means the information is extracted from our database of awards. I have showed you that database of cases and awards earlier. So these profiles that we have here is a repository of profiles of arbitrators, counsel, expert witness, tribunal secretary. So if you are looking for an arbitrator and you want him to have a Brazil nationality again, let's select that. And you can already see here that we have all the arbitrators. In Brazil, we have 136 arbitrators with Brazil nationality with the role of an arbitrator. And you can also sort them by most appointed. So you can see here that Giovanni Atorenani has 52 cases. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. You can also see this in a rows view here. If it's easier for you, it's a matter of preference. So both of these are available. And by clicking on the arbitrator name, it would lead you to the profile on Kluwer Arbitration, where you can explore further. So then again, all these profiles by default are data-driven, which means the system will automatically create a profile based on the information that appears in the award itself or from appointment data. So we also scrape information from the various institutions, including from Brazil. So in this case, you would see that CAM-CCBC, we scrape information from this institution. So we don't have the document itself, but we do know that the arbitrator was appointed to a case. So in information, it will appear. And so the cases is the number of cases we have information on. And then the awards, you click on it, will direct you to a page with all these awards that we have in our database. So you can review those awards as part of your investigation of the arbitrator. And then the publications, which are super important for your due diligence to see if he has written something that relates to your case that would support your case strategy, or on the contrary, that will contradict what you're trying to claim. So that should give you a warning sign. So it's really important to review all the publications, and that's something unique to Kluwer Arbitration, that you can have access to all the publications written by the arbitrator that we have in our database.
Yael, I'm sorry to interrupt, but how do you get the awards, or where do you get them from?
Good question. So the awards, there's a few sources that we get our awards. Most of them we would get the ones that become publicly available. And I know that's a challenge within commercial arbitration, but some of the awards do get publicly available if there's an enforcement process. For example, in the US, where you have to attach the award as an exhibit. So we would scrape that award, and then it would become available on our platform. The other way is through our partnership. So we do have a long-lasting partnership with ICCA and ITA, and they get anonymized awards, and they summarize them for their merits. They also select them for their merits. So those awards will be available on Kluwer Arbitration, but also from other institutions. So there's the Hong Kong institution, Beijing, all these listed here. I think there's about 30 or more that we partner with. So they provide some awards. It's not big numbers, but they do provide some awards. And then there's also from our publications, from books, that we get our awards as well. So all of those will feed into our cases and awards. And whenever there's a new award that we put our hands on, and it's about either an arbitrator that already has a profile, that data will be added to his profile. And if that arbitrator or counsel doesn't have a profile, it will create a new profile for them and include that information in it.
And do you, like, as soon as you get an award, you just upload it to the system, or do you have a team that will analyze the awards and will get all the info? How does it work?
Yes, exactly. So the awards will get uploaded to the system, but in parallel, there's a team that will. So first of all, we use AI, artificial intelligence, to extract the information from the awards. So that will be the machine extracting the data points that we have already seen earlier on the cases and awards. If the case has been, what's the status of the case, what's the industry, the sector. So all of these data points will be extracted. And then we have a layer of humans. So it's kind of the quality assurance that reviews all that data and make sure that it's accurate and correct. So that we have a few layers of those. We have junior lawyers that will review it, and then we have senior ones that will go through the work of the juniors if they found any mistakes. So there's a lot of quality assurance layers until the information goes into the platform. But we try to make it as fast as possible so it doesn't cause as many delays from the point that we get our hand on the award until the data points are being updated. But it can take a few weeks until those, at least the data points, are updated into the profile. But that's because we want to make sure that it's all right and correct, and we're not putting any information there that is misleading. So so that's the profile. In this case, we also have self-reported information. So the arbitrators also contributed self-reported information. We did provide a label where the information is self-reported, so you can differentiate between this and the information that is data-driven. So this arbitral insights are entirely data-driven. So it's all objective, reliable information extracted from the awards themselves. And you can see here the allocation to his experience with sectors, applicable rules, and applicable treaties and laws. And you can also, and there's a link if you want to see this case where he had experience with information and communication. You click on it and it will direct you to that case with the document. And then there's the subsectors where if the information is available, it will provide what is the subsector of that case, what are the subsectors within the main sector. And there's also division to his experience as an arbitrator versus his experience as a counsel or other roles. And below, there's a cases table that provides a bird's eye view to all the cases this arbitrator has acted on. You can see here also the status of the case, if it's still pending, the outcome. And when we have the information, it would also provide the name of the counsel. Some of these are from the CAM-CCBC, so it's appointment data. So it's here just for completeness to let you know there is a case, but we won't necessarily have the document because of the confidential nature of the award. It hasn't been published, so we won't have the document itself, but there is information of the appointment of the arbitrator on the case. So that's why we provide the information here. This case, for instance, we should have the document, and you would have here the names of the other arbitrators appointed on the same case with him. And it's, again, interconnected. So if you click on it, it will direct you to that to the profile of this arbitrator in our database. So let's say, okay, now you looked at this profile and it looks interesting and you're considering to appoint this arbitrator, you now have to go through the second phase of exploring their relationships to see if you can identify any conflicts of interest. Obviously, you also get the information from the arbitrators, but some of it, this would give you again, for completeness, to see if there's anything else that you can, that is data-driven, that is data-backed up, that you can find about the arbitrator. So you can see his relationships either under a category, if you click on check relationships, and his name was already populated automatically because we started from his profile. And it would give you all the individuals that he has relationships with in our database. Again, this is all based on information that has been made public. So there is part that is not public, which we won't be able to surface. But what's public, this would be a very useful tool to help you find that information and have it all in one place. And you can also just insert name of specific people or law firm or a state. Let's say you want to see if he has any relationship with, I don't know, the state of Mexico. You can just check relationships and he would tell you no results found because we in our database don't have anything on it. If I go for another arbitrator, so you don't have to start from somebody's profile, you can also just insert a name, and it doesn't have to be an individual. You can also start with a law firm, a state, or a commercial party. And then, oh, I'm under state, sorry. So I'm going to select Gabrielle Kaufman and law firm. Let's do White and Case, and I'll select state. Again, Mexico, and let's see if something comes up. Then you can see here the case itself. Clicking on the case would lead to the case page with all the information on the case itself. So it helps you to see all the information while this loads. I would go back, the date of the case, the relationship. So it's all direct relationships. So it means both parties sat on the same case at the same time. So it's not, we don't provide indirect relationships. The information, so Staminer Alexandrov was the co-arbitrator who appointed him. So he was appointed by one of the parties, and then Gabrielle Kaufman was the presiding arbitrator appointed by the co-arbitrators, and the case status. And you can also use the filters here on the side that are very useful if you just want to see according to the IBA rules and limit the results to the last 3 years. You can see it narrow it down to these 5 results that are all from the last 5 years. You can use other filters, download the results as a PDF or print them. So again, very helpful when you need to do this conflict checks on an arbitrator. And just to clarify that, it doesn't necessarily have to be an arbitrator. You can also insert a name of a counsel, a tribunal secretary, an expert witness, any person who acted on the case. Yeah, and then again, I mentioned ICCA because we do have a partnership with them. We also have a dedicated tab for ICCA. So any content that we have from ICCA, the ICCA Award Series, the Congress Series, the Guide to the New York Convention, Handbook, all of them are here with quick links. So you can click on them and be directed to that content on our database. Fabiana, do you have any additional questions?
No, I think I got it all. Thank you. At least in the name of CBAr, we have a long relationship with Kluwer, and our magazine is published by Kluwer. So we have it's always very useful for us. We're grateful for that. And it was great to learn all these new tools that will definitely help and facilitate our jobs day by day. Thank you for that. I don't know if Debora has any other questions, or if Yael or Rostislav has anything else to say.
Just as a conclusion of what we have spoken today, if you could just briefly say what's different from the main tools that are different from what we have today, what our associates subscribe today, and about these new tools, just like in few words.
So I assume if you don't have the full subscription, that means that you won't have access to the practical tools, which are the ones that have the label practical. against them. These are these 5 tools that I reviewed at the end. I'm not really, I to be honest, I don't know if you have access to them or no. You will be, even if you don't, you will be able to see the tools and log into them to see the content, but then it would ask you to subscribe to have full access.
Yes. I think most I've been responsible for the Kluwer Arbitration subscription, and I don't believe any of our associates have jumped to this new platform. We are still renewing on the let's say old one, but it's not old, but the main platform, the first platform. So this is why I wanted to just to highlight for people to have in mind. If I know that only new associates can only start by subscribing this full package, and maybe leave a reflection for the ones that still are in the first platform, what they should be thinking of when they renew again, to jump to the new platform.
Definitely. So again, these practical tools, we build them in mind of really making your workflow more efficient, finding the information faster, practical insights, very valuable information when you do research on the topics that are covered within this tool, with additional reading and the jurisdiction and institutional comparison view. So that's super helpful. Quick answers, again, it's very broad, so it covers many questions, and it's mainly helpful when somebody is put you on the spot and you have to find an answer quickly. Document guides and examples, I've already mentioned. When you need to work on submissions of documents, these would give you good templates that are up to date. We've just enhanced this tool and relaunching it tomorrow, so that would have the most relevant content that adheres to the most up-to-date rules of those institutions, with examples of suggested wording that can really help you in your day-to-day. And the Profile Navigator and Relationship Indicator, those tools are data-driven. So we all know that in international arbitration, it's really hard to find this information because of the confidential nature. So when you have something that is data-driven and it's reliable and objective information that can support your decision, I find that super helpful in mitigating the risk of potential conflicts. So that tool is also with increasing diversity, which I omitted to mention earlier. If you need to find an arbitrator, you don't have a name in mind, this really helps you to find additional arbitrators that you may have not thought about before. So it really helps with diversity and appointing arbitrators that are perhaps less known but have relevant credentials and experience for your case. So that would be a tool that would help you to find those arbitrators, counsels, tribunal secretaries, if you are arbitrators and you need to find one. So very, very useful tools, these two. And we do leverage both our abilities to scrape the web, but also our partnership. So there's exclusive content there that you could not find anywhere else in terms of any awards that we got through our partners.
Yes. And last Friday, I was in an event where Gustavo Schmidt was talking about, he talked about several aspects, but also what sometimes we call the duties of the party to investigate. And he labeled as the duty of the parties to act in good faith, to act in form of collaboration. And in this duty, to not to investigate, but to learn more about the arbitrator, is part of the naming process, is part of the indication process. And I believe that this tool would help in this. And he also said, nobody that has a big case goes out there and indicates an arbitrator that he knows nothing about. So what we're really speaking is something that already happens. And I believe these new tools will really help on this task that is, even though people pretend that they don't like it, it has been performed for a long time already.
Yeah. And I think the fact that you can also research past publications, which is, again, we're leveraging our position as a publisher, because that's how we started. And we have this extensive database of books. We have over 450 books in our database. And I think about 80% of those are exclusive to Wolters Kluwer. So even though we license books from Oxford University Press and other publishers, most of our content is unique to Wolters Kluwer. And you can see those publications within the profiles because we created a link to those. So you can really investigate what they wrote, what's their approach about that topic before you decide to appoint that arbitrator. So it's not just their experience with past awards, if they have experience with the relevant sector and the nationality and the language. It's also about what's their views and approach about the topic of the arbitration. Just one last thing that I don't think I've showed you. It's the favorites, because it really helps you to save information and collaborate. So let's just because we RT. Oh. Sorry. Just searching on a topic, artificial intelligence, because we have mentioned it. And let's say I find this one relevant for my research and I want to save it. I can click on this star icon and I can either add it to one of my existing folders, or I can create a new folder. Artificial intelligence add, and then it would tell me that it has been added successfully. And you can access this favorite from any place in the platform. So you can navigate to it, click on it, and you will find the folder up here, artificial intelligence, and this document is in my folder. So you can, every time you go into Kluwer Arbitration, you can find the relevant materials under your folder, and you can collaborate with colleagues. So if you have a team that is working together in the same case, you can all access this folder and see the relevant materials that you found that are relevant to that case. So just an easy way to retrieve information and find it when you go into Kluwer Arbitration the next time, so you don't have to search for them again.
Great.
Yeah,
it's great to have your things organized. I love folders.
Great. They're good for collaborating and finding the information. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very, very much. Does anyone else want to say something?
Thank you, Fabi. Thank you, Yael. Thank you, everybody. And have a nice week.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.